You guys coming off a week where obviously Oregon's offensive line, I mean, they're tough. I just think that's a fair credit to them. But Cal hasn't had as much success blocking against the pass rush. What do you guys kind of do to flush that last game and get ready for this one and get back in the backfield?
I think just realize every single week's a new week. We're facing a tough opponent this week. Cal put up a really good game against Arizona. Those offensive linemen over there are, kind of mending together, starting to really find their stride. So it's going to be a really big game for us to kind of get our stride back as well. Didn't really get to the passer much. That's what we kind of pride ourselves on. So this week's going to be a great bounce back week for us.
Is it unique at all? 14 sacks is amongst the best in the nation, but they've all come in 2 games. What do you maybe think you guys have to do to get them in at least a couple in each game rather than the 7-0, 7-0?
I guess just understanding where we are on the field and when those sacks need to come out. When they get to that 29-39 area on the field, get them out of field goal range. We got to start producing there. Sacks are great and all. It's a great stat to have. But at the end of the day, it's just changing the momentum of the game. So if we can just start to get more consistent, getting sacks every single game, not just huge explosive ones where we have 7 or 6, but having consistent 3 every single game, really get to the quarterback, start getting him rattled. That's really what we want to have our identity on the defensive line be.
Cal's got one of the better young running backs, one of the better running backs, period, in the country. As an edge group, what do you guys kind of have to prepare for? Yeah,
you got
prepare
this.
for him, both on getting to the outside and crashing into the middle.
Yeah, he's a fantastic player. I think he's a true freshman and doing some great stuff over there. It's going to be very important to contain him, not let him get his stride early in the game, start to get some TFLs on him, get him kind of rattled as well. But with running backs like that who are building on confidence from last week, it's going to be important to kind of shut that down early in the game. We can't get him to get comfortable. He's a great downhill runner. He's got some elusiveness and really good top-end speed, so making sure that we can't get him, opened up in the open lane or whatnot, make sure we get him in the backfield and start, really swarming on him early.
A couple of questions. So based on where you got after last week's game, first 3 games are wins, first time since 2019. Where do you feel you guys kind of stand right now in words of the Pac-12 or in NCAA overall?
I think just overall where we stand as a team is just really confident in what we can do. We're seeing just so many flashes of greatness around every single phase of the game. Offense really caught their stride. It was awesome seeing Cam Moore be super comfortable back there. He made some great plays. Same with Nakia and all those receivers. Defensively, Cisco's 96-yard touchdown, that was insane. Amazing play. So I think we're just having a big team of confidence right now. And whether that puts us in the top 25, whether or not, we don't really want to look at that stuff. We really just want to look at each game one at a time. And right now we're 3-1, but this week we're going to try and go 1-0.
Okay, cool. And then, sorry. So I guess, how do you feel about your performance personally going into this game?
I'm just do my 111th at the end of the day. Every single week we have a game plan set, and there's going to be plays that need to be made. And, when those plays come, I feel like I'm going to be confident enough to make those plays when I need to. I don't want to get too outside of myself. Neither does anybody on this defense or offense. We're designed to make sure that we're doing everything we need to do when our names are called upon. So never trying to do too much. Don't need any superheroes out there.
When you watch tape of that Oregon game, what did you see in kind of the way Oregon played offense that was able to kind of neutralize their guys' pressure a little bit?
They got great athletes out there, so just getting the ball out to space. They were very quick in their dropbacks. Bo Nix made some great reads early on. The offensive line really walling us back, getting some really good depth on their drops. And honestly, Bo Nix being back at 11 yards, it's tough to get there when he's going through 1-2 reads and then throwing the ball. So they had a really good game plan against us. We're going to look at the film. We saw what they did well, and we're going to have some countermeasures for it going forward.
Yeah, and coming out of that film room as a D-line group, how eager does that make you guys to bounce back after a game like that?
We always talk about it's either you succeed or you have some learns. We never take anything as a loss. We learn from everything we do. Every mistake is an opportunity for growth. So, coming out of that game, we saw a lot of growth opportunities, a lot of things we can get better at as a whole. We never want to pin a loss on any single person on this group. We're a team. So just going forward, we're make sure that we get better from this.
And Dickert, he talked about a lot of learns coming out of this game. You talked about what was maybe for the defense the primary takeaway you guys come out of that with?
Biggest thing is just finishing. We had some great goal line stands early in the game, and that's kind of embodiment of finishing. They got down there, but we were able to stop them, stop their momentum. So just going into the fourth quarter, just having that kind of same mentality, whereas, we got to finish the game out, have 4 strong quarters of football. And I think we did that in the first 2-3 games, but, we got to do that consistently every single week. There's going to be some great teams going on out. This is a hard schedule. It's a hard conference. And, we need to make sure that we're going into every single game ready to go 4 quarters.
How important is a win for you guys this weekend before you hit this next stretch with the road games and then Utah?
I think every win's important. Regardless of what happened last week, every single week's new. Just really focused on going 1-0 and picking up another win in that column. But Cal's a great football team. It's going to be a battle out there. They've got a great head coach. He's been there for a while, and they've got a really good identity. So we're excited for a great challenge.
And what you saw out of the fans this past week, first sellout since 2019. How important is it for you guys to continue to have support from the student body?
It's huge. I mean, you just see kind of the energy that was cultivating in that arena during the game. It's huge for us on the field, on the sidelines, and our coach has a great saying too. He talks about how we create the energy in the stadium by what we do on the field, but it's just great to have that sustained throughout the game. There's going to be lulls in the game where we need some energy from the fans, and I don't think they realize what kind of impact they actually have on us. So it's awesome to see them out there in full support, and we hope to see the same thing this Saturday. Awesome. Hi, Mom.
Thanks,